been in my bag, please don't make me mad. You been in your feelings, that won't get no cash. Only L's I take is LLCs, we first not last. I been in my bag, I been in my bag, I been in my bag. Please don't make me mad. You been in your feelings.
What's up, YouTube? Shout out to everybody out there trucking out the box, getting that box truck money. We love to see it. Today we're gonna have a beautiful video for y'all on how to run up 30K in 30 days. I'm gonna give y'all a nice breakdown, so y'all gonna wanna see this video. Also, make sure you add us on Instagram at Trucking Out the Box. TruckingOutThebox. Trucking Out the Box. If you want to see content that you won't be able to see on YouTube, content every day, how we're setting up, behind the scenes, anything, add that Instagram, Trucking Out the Box. I'm going to break this money down in 3 ways. Number 1 would be local, number 2 would be regional, and number 3, OTR, my favorite, OTR, big money. Okay, so we're going to put this up here. Number 1, locals.
Hello? They bring them in, we hit that roll, let's get this grow. Yeah. Trucking out the box.
Okay, local. Now what I like to tell everybody about local is you want to try to get at least 500 a day, right?
I've been trucking out the box. Yeah, trucking out the box.
In my opinion, if you do 500 a day and you're doing local, whether it's Amazon, a local shipper, a dedicated route, if you're doing 500 a day and you're out there local, you're doing pretty good. You're home every night. Get to eat good, get mama's cooking, whatever, right? Get to see your peoples. You're probably barely working that many hours. You gotta think about all the benefits that's under this local. So yeah, you're local, yeah, you're doing 500 a day. 500 a day times 7, that's $3,500 a week, right? That's good money. But this is what I tell people, right? When you're at $3,500 a week and you're doing local, you gotta think about your expenses. So your expenses are different. So even though you're local and you're making $500 a day, $3,500 a week, you're probably spending less on gas. You're also probably getting more money per mile, right? When you're local, you get to go to those local gas stations. Anybody with a box truck, if you know, those gas stations have way cheaper gas prices than when you're over the road going to those truck stops. That's another hack for you guys too. Always remember that. Download Gas Buddy. It's an app. Make sure you guys download it. So again, local. 500 a day, $3,500 a week. Make sure you're getting over $2 a mile. When I'm booking local, I like to do $2 a mile or more. I also like to do quick freight. So I like something that you can pick up, have it dropped off. That way I can get my driver another load. So just know this: if you're doing local, you're getting $500 a day, $3,500 a week, and you're getting over $2 a mile per load. It's okay, because out of that $3,500, 9 times out of 10, you're actually going to be able to net pretty close to that. So as opposed to somebody going OTR, which we'll talk about, possibly making $7 grand or more, they may bring on anywhere between, you know, let's just say 50%, right? So they may bring home, after all expenses, everything, it could be more, but let's do worst case scenario. They'll bring $3,500. You did way less work, you got way more benefits because you get to be home every night. Like I said, you get to eat good, you're using local fuel, you're not putting that many miles on your truck, you're able to do more loads, and you're bringing home a lot closer to your groceries. Next up, regional. Usually you're able to get about 700 to 1,000 a day doing regional. I'll tell you why. Number 1, usually you're crossing state lines. So it may be some local in there. That's where the 500 a day plus average still comes into play. Let's use California for example. You may have an in California load, doesn't take too long, you're able to get 500, but then you're able to do another load for $250 or another $500 load. That's how you're getting that $700 plus. That's just using your DOT. Now let's say you were also taking advantage of using your MC. That's when you're going from California to Oregon, California to Utah, or Nevada, or Arizona, New Mexico, maybe even as far as Texas. I know a lot of California drivers might not want to go to Colorado or, you know, Montana too far, right? You don't want to get in the snow. 700 a day or more. So when you start crossing those state lines and you're using your MC, that's when your dispatcher is able to leverage and negotiate for more money, right? There's a lot of California carriers, but a lot of them, believe it or not, guys, just have their DOT or just all 50 states, right? There's a lot of carriers just in state that just have their DOT. When you're there and you're trying to get a load, especially regional, especially if it's a lane, for instance, LA to Vegas, and you're going there, you're able to get $2 plus a mile because you're covering that lane, but also you're using your you're using your MC. So that's where your dispatcher comes into play. 700 plus a day. You're also using, it's not as local, so yeah, you're not getting those local fuel station discounts, right? But you are able to use highway mileage, so you are saving a little bit more per gallon, and then also you're getting more per mile. So you're still winning, right? Especially when you're crossing state lines. Also, if you get a lane, like I said, you should be able to get $4 or more. Let's say at least $3 a month, especially in today's market. At least $3 or more when you're dealing with a lane, right? And everyone knows if you get $4 or more for the lane, you're able to come right back if you want. But a good dispatcher will get you there and get you right back. Again, you might not be home every night, so some benefits might change. Again, you're not home every night as a local guy. You know, you're not able to use those local fuel discounts, right? But you also have benefits of your own. You're able to get maybe $3, $4 a mile. You're home every other night, maybe 2-3 times a week, right? That's still pretty good, definitely better than OTR. And you're able to have a more chance to develop a lane. As you just solely wanting to do local, you can get a lane. It might be a couple days a week, or it might be every single day. And then all you gotta do is get something back, whether it's Amazon or get you another lane coming back, and you're winning. Those are a lot of regional perks, benefits. Like I said, some downfalls there are. I mentioned some downfalls in there too, but honestly, a lot of perks. This is where you can get 700 to 1,000, if not more, every single day doing regional work where you are. Okay, guys, last but not least, OTR, my personal favorite. Let's get into it. OTR, you should be making around $1,000 a day, right? You should be averaging anywhere between $4,000 to $7,000 a week. I only say 4, depends on the load board, depends on where you are, depends on your dispatcher, right? You want to hope for the best, always expect the worst. So that's why I'll say 4. But a lot of the times, listen, if you do it right, you'll be making $1,000 a day, no problem. Check me out. If you know you're on the road driver, if you know the speed limits, you know his clock and things like that, then you know, okay, he's gonna drive anywhere between 500 to 700 miles every single day. Right? If your dispatcher is waking up at 5 a.m. like he's supposed to, and he's getting you dispatched for you to pick up that load enough time to be able to drop it off tomorrow, if it's only 500 or so miles, you just made $1,000 at $2 a mile or more during that road trip. Also, depending on the drop-off time, you should be able to drop off, pick up another load, and do it again. Me personally, I like long hauls. So I like to get on the board and find trips that are 2,000 miles or 1,500 miles, etc., right? So I know if it's Monday and it's 1,500 miles and I just got, you know, $3,000 or $3,500 for the load, I'm trying to break it down so he can get there on Wednesday, absolutely no later than Thursday, and we could turn around and get another load just like that, dropping off Monday. Now I'm gonna book them 9 times out of 10. He'll be there Sunday, have a hotel or something, relax, or even maybe Saturday. You never know, right? Be there early, get his 34-hour reset before he has to get it in. It's perfect. If you do the math, that's 2 $3,500 loads a week. That's another thing I like about OTR. You're not taking multiple loads. You're taking maybe 2 or 3, usually 2 loads a week, but I mean, you might squeeze a third one. You're hardly doing 4 or 5 loads a week when you're OTR. If you got a good dispatcher and if you're able to get 1,000 plus miles on every trip. So again, when I'm on the load board, sometimes you might not see those big miles, right? Sometimes you might gotta settle for. That's another thing I want to let you guys know. Don't get mad if you like, you like OTR and you like, those big miles like I do. I do the same thing, but the money still adds up. So if you do see a 500-mile trip, a 600-mile trip, 700-mile trip, a 380-mile trip, a 380-mile trip, for instance, it might go to a hot spot and it might be paying $3 a mile. That makes sense. Do it. Do it, because now you got your driver out of where he's at to a great spot, plus you got more dollars per mile. So he's driving less, but he's getting more money. I love OTR. I can talk to y'all all day about OTR. This is what a lot of my drivers that I'll be dispatching starting January 2nd will be doing, OTR. I took advantage of Gas Buddy because you're going through towns and stuff too. So you're able to take advantage of Gas Buddy, but more or less, you're able to take advantage of your RTS fuel card. A lot of people that I deal with are also part of my mentorship. They usually all have RTS. RTS has amazing discounts at Flying J, Pilots, etc., when you're over the road. Plus, you can get free showers, free coffee, a lot of different benefits when you're strictly OTR. So let's talk about that, benefits. When you're over the road, like I said, you have a benefit is less loads. A benefit is free showers, free coffees, right? Long trips. You're not just, you're not loading and unloading 9 times out of 10. You're able to get more money for things like that. Even if something goes wrong and you book a guy for less than $2 a mile, don't panic. That's when you should hop into finesse mode. You let your driver know, hey, if you touch freight, please call me so I can get you some more money. If they say it's a day late and you weren't expecting for that delay, you should ask for more money. I love OTR. I say about 70% of the time we're able to always get more money for our drivers. You're usually going to be around that $2 a mile range though. I will say that, depending on who you speak with, especially when you're talking over 500 miles, over 1,000 miles. Trust me, I've had 700-mile loads that were $3 a mile, but it just depends. So there you have it. We pretty much talked about local, getting about $500 a day, making it make sense. We talked about regional, getting anywhere between $700 to $1,000 a day, making it make sense, especially taking advantage of using your MC. Then we're talking about OTR, where you're usually just using your MC only, where you're fighting for those extra dollars for loading and unloading, where you usually never touch freight. You're on the move every single day, and you're getting around $2 a mile every single load. All right, y'all, and that's how you make anywhere between $14,000 a month all the way up to $30,000 a month. Whether you're making $14,000, $15,000 a month, whether you're making $25,000 a month, or whether you're making $30,000, you're still doing good because there's benefits to all ways, I promise you. This guy right here that's making $14,000 a month, he's taking home a lot of that $14,000. Plus, believe it or not, he's loving it because he gets to be home every single night. This guy right here that's bringing home $25,000 a month, he's loving it. He's going over the road. He probably has the same load every other week, if not every week, and also he's able to be home anywhere between 2 to 3 times a week, or at least once a week, right? This guy right here, he's all over the country. All over the country. He gets to see beautiful different things. He gets to take advantage. He's getting a bigger bag. Depending on how he's able to leverage his money, depending on how he's able to save, depending on how he's taking advantage of those showers at those pilots and so on and so forth, depending on how he's putting together his fuel card, and depending on how he's eating, believe it or not, guys, he's bringing home the most out of everybody. It just depends on how you do it. Trust me, me and my wife have done it, so I can tell y'all from our experience of loving OTR. But honestly, local, regional, OTR is some good money. Box trucking is good money overall. We're changing the game. I advise y'all hop into it. Stay tuned for the next video. Like I told y'all in the beginning, log on if y'all want to see a lot of personal things, if y'all want to see the behind the scenes, if y'all want to see everyday content, at least a few hours throughout the day, add us on Instagram. Trucking Out the Box, TruckingOutThebox. So it's at Trucking Out the Box. You'll see us on there on the Go ahead and add us. Until next time, man, we out.